Where I talk about some new states proposing maps. And yes, so the first state includes the state of Arizona, then we have Texas with a new proposal, and Michigan with several new proposals. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. And I believe Arkansas do have a few more proposals, but again, there is a state Senate approved map. This is pretty much a Republican gerrymander, but there's nothing real to talk about there. Now we can go to the state of West Virginia. Also some new maps proposed. Not really something very interesting. The Democratic maps are often just making one district a little bit more competitive, but really none of these are that interesting after all. So we really have Arizona, Texas, and Michigan. So for the state of Arizona, actually I'm not going to look at Arizona first because I'm actually going to look at Texas first. Texas has its first draft plan and its amended plan. I've taken a detailed look at the first draft plan. And the map is, and again, I've taken a look at that, so I'm not going to be taking you guys another look at this map. This map really has not much to change here. I believe they had some relatively small problems. I think there was the majority black problem. I think they changed it a little bit. They shored up the Democratic incumbents, of course, to shore up the Republican incumbents. There are still some relatively competitive districts, such as the 24th, which is R+22. The previous map, it was also R+22, so really there's not much that changed. I think there were a few small differences, but overall I'd say this map is relatively similar to the previous map, and previously proposed map. So yes, there's not much to look at the state of Texas as well. Now for the more interesting state, the state of Michigan. We have a whole bunch of proposals. I've looked at the previous 7 proposals as well, but I'm going to be looking at the 8th to the 15th. So first for the 8th proposal. The 8th proposal pretty much ensures that the Democrats pretty much ensures the Republicans holding the majority as well, so that Republicans, they gain this seat right here, the Democratic seat right here, and 11th seat, and Essex Stockland seat right here. However, the 2 competitive seats are both leaning Republican, which I say this is a Republican gerrymander. I won't say this is atrociously gerrymandered, but this map is favoring the Republicans by more than, a fair map should. And if you look at the old map, yes, there are Democrats in Republican districts, but still, an 11th district is 8 points bluer. Right now it's drawn very Republican, and a lot of these districts are trying to get drawn Republican leaning, and this is a pretty unfair map. Now we go to the 9th proposal. I think the 9th is here. The 9th proposal pretty much ensures the Democrats will likely gain a seat, and 11th district is still R+7. These 2 districts this 8th district get a little bit more competitive, but still this is a Republican favoring map. Now we could go to the 9th. I believe the 8th proposal, the 9th, and now it's the 10th proposal. The 10th proposal basically ensures, again, ND11 gets drawn in a very Republican district. However, it also makes the Democrats gain this 4th district. This map is relatively fair, as there are 2 competitive districts that could go either way. Again, the incumbent 11th district is a little bit drawn 2 points redder, but this is a relatively fair map. The 11th proposal, the 11th proposal draws Peter Major in a very red district. This is again a Republican gerrymandered map, as Democrats really, they do not have a chance at winning the majority, which again is pretty much a gerrymander again. The 12th proposal, I'd say is also pretty, I guess it's fair though. So yeah, this map ensures that the Democrats hold this Grand Rapids seat. They flip it, and they hold 4 seats, and there are 2 competitive districts. Also, the Flint district gets drawn 2 points redder, 2 points bluer, which should be a plus for Democrats, and the 11 still gets drawn out his district. This is, I believe, the most Democratic favoring map in all of these maps, but it is still not really a Democratic favored map. This map right here makes Haley Stevens in a bluer district, but this also guarantees Andy Levin Haley Stevens in a redder district. However, it guarantees Andy Levin a 2 points bluer district. Again, this is the current map. Haley Stevens gets protected. And yes, so this map I'd say is relatively fair. The Democrats win this district by 2, and these 2 districts, this is a relatively fair map. This is a true, I guess, independent map. The 13th proposal, again, the 2nd district. So again, I got the wrong thing. I believe it's now the 13th proposal. Did I look at the 13th proposal? So I actually looked at the 13th proposal. Now let's go to the 14th. Alright, so it looks like the 13th, 14th, a lot of these proposals seem relatively similar. The 5th gets drawn 2 points redder again, which again is a little bit unfair. This map is relatively unfair, but it's pretty unfair because Andy Levin gets drawn out by 5 points. No, Peter Major's district is not competitive for the Democrats. And these 2 districts are pretty much still R+4 and R+2. This is a map I think Democrats will be firmly against. So looking at all these maps, I'd say the most Democratic-leaning map is probably the 5th proposal, which Democrats, actually maybe not the 5th. Let me see. So the 5th is pretty Democratic-leaning, and the 10th as well. Peter Major gets drawn out basically. Andy Levin in a R+7 seat, and there's 2 of these competitive seats. But also in this 12th proposal, this is also a similar thing, except this district incumbent actually gets drawn in a 2 points bluer district. So I guess this is a map that the Democrats should be the most happy about. But still, none of these maps are really that Democratic-leaning. We could look at a few of these states as well. You can see that there are some maps proposed. There are some maps from Montana, which should be interesting, but Republicans fully control the state, so it should be seen as Republicans basically gerrymandering the state. Now, a lot of these maps are safe red or likely red, so I won't be taking a look at them. The 4th proposal has a open district that's R+6, which should be relatively beneficial for Democrats. The 2nd proposal has it at steep R+5, which should be even more favorable for Democrats, although the incumbent is in that R+5 district. The 6th proposal draws the incumbent to a R+4 district, which I think Democrats are most happy about. This district actually draws Matthew M. Ronsdale in a R+3 district, however, it's highly unlikely to pass. This map draws the Republican in a R+5 district, which I guess is still relatively fair, but again, it's still Republican-leaning. You can also look at a few of these states. Again, these states all have proposed maps. I won't go, again, Hawaii. Hawaii doesn't really have any interesting maps because, again, the state is not very interesting. We have some states, but the final state, again, we have New Mexico. I forgot the state of New Mexico, alright? These are all commission-drawn maps. However, Democrats can fully control the state and can fully gerrymander the state for them as well. The Congressional A map, is pretty much the same as currently. The B map, pretty similar to currently speaking. The C map, now the D map ensures the Republicans get this is a Republican gerrymandered map. At least in my opinion, the 2nd district is very red, and the 3rd district is relatively competitive, with Matthew S. Starbury gets drawn in a very red district. However, this map looks pretty odd, and Hurrow gets drawn in a more competitive district. The F map looks more compact, and I'd say that is a more fair map, I guess. in the G map, this basically ensures the Republicans get the seat while the Democrats get these two seats. This map is a map that I think Democrats are relatively likely going to draw. They're going to make Mellon a stubborn, a relatively solid district in a D+11 district. More like she'll win by around D+15. By 15 points, and the first will be a D+10 district. This will be a D+5 district. So again, this is a map that I think Democrats very likely will draw. Again, the final state, that is the state of Arizona. This is a very interesting map. It is more favorable than I initially thought. I thought the Republicans was going to gerrymander the state a little bit because the commission is Republican leaning. This map basically ensures 4 Democratic districts and 4 Republican districts. Now, in the old map, Democrats actually only have 3 seats while Republicans have 5 seats. This is a relatively gerrymandered map because Tom Holland actually served in a R+6 district. These districts in the long term will be trending blue, but whatever. Now, in this map, it ensures the Democrats would do very well in this map. Now, the weird thing is that this district got drawn 22 points better, which I guess is very interesting and weird, but Anna Karpek gets into a more leaning, in a likely seat instead of a lean seat for her. Ruby Galindo, I believe, is in a D+43 district. It has since become to a very more competitive district. This district right here, Grand Starter's district, gets to a D+17 district, making room for David Short to basically lose his district in this scenario. The 5th district is open with a R+8 advantage. However, this district is also trending Democrat, and Democrats may very well flip the district in the future. Rob Goebel's district gets to be drawn very much redder. However, I think he'll still win re-election because of Tulsa and some of these ex-urban areas that should be trending blue. Look at this map here. This is a slightly Republican favoring map, but I won't say this is a gerrymander. So yes, now we finally have one more state, the state of Indiana. The state of Indiana has certified their map. Now, people are saying, why didn't they try a 1-2-8 map? I think Republicans tried one strategy that we did not initially think about. Basically being the shore up plan. Meaning that they won't draw out any Democratic incumbents, but they will shore up this district. For example, in the 7th district, now I believe 1st district is basically the same. However, the 7th district got shored up by 9, is that 13 points? That's 14 points. To make room for the 5th district to be R+22 instead of R+8. And by the way, the Democrats really came very close to winning this district. If we look at the presidential map and then we go to House, this is an ex-urban district where Democrats had a prime pickup opportunity. The district ended up going to Republicans by less than 5 points, by just about 4.1 percentage points. And the district is trending blue, which should be concerning for Republicans, as Democrats may be able to flip in the future. In fact, this was not a prime opportunity for Democrats to pick up this race in 2018. However, it certainly was in 2020. Some people predicted that this race will flip to the Democrats. That did not happen, but the race was very competitive. So I do believe that this is somewhat of a gerrymander as well. Realistically, Democrats should hold a 3-6 advantage. However, that's very difficult given the geographics. Fort Wayne has some blue precincts, these areas have some blue precincts, Evansville has some blue precincts, so definitely it's really difficult for Democrats to draw a 3-6 map without the map looking atrocious. But again, this is a gerrymandered map. Anyways, comment down suggestions below, subscribe to the channel if you have not, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow.